Hi, it's day 11 of our 40 days through the Gospel of John, and we are in the beginning of John chapter 5. I wonder if you have something that you have wanted God to do in your life, a deep need, a healing or a breakthrough, or some answer to prayer that you've hung on to God for, and you're yet to see the answer. If you can think of that sort of thing that's in your life, I wonder how long you've been hanging on for. I wonder how long is too long, where you think, well, I've waited so long, God's never going to do it. But the story in John 5 is about a man that we read in verse 5 of John 5 that he had been sick for 38 years. It's a long time. 38 years this man had been waiting for some form of healing. He's by this pool, this place where mysteriously, and there's no explanation, the waters seem to bubble every now and again, and whoever jumped in the water first would receive some form of healing. But being a paralysed man, and people being selfish jumping in first, when Jesus meets him, he says, I never get there first. I never receive that. You know, when you're waiting, especially as long as 38 years for seeing some answer to prayer, some breakthrough, it can certainly feel like everyone's getting there first before you. Someone else is getting their breakthrough. Someone else is getting their answer to prayer. And where's mine? But also, this is a man who hasn't given up. He's not resigned and said, well, I'm just going to be sick or paralysed or whatever the man's affliction was. He's like, I want to see a breakthrough. And after 38 years, Jesus comes along, says to him, stand up and walk. And it says here in verse 9, instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. You know, the Greeks have two words for time. One is chronos and one is kairos. Let me read to you a small little definition of the difference. Chronos, I'm reading this here from the internet. Chronos refers to chronological or sequential time. That's what we're all used to. The clock hand moves 1 second after another, 1 minute after another, 1 hour, 1 day after another. That is chronos time, what we call chronology. And then there was another word the Greeks had called kairos time, which signifies a period or season, an event where something significant happens. In this story, we read both of those times. We read the 38 years, the chronos, 38 long years. And we also hear the kairos, this significant moment, this God-appointed time for this man to receive his healing. Now, the reality is we spend most of our existence in the chronos, in the sequential. How long have I prayed about this? It's been weeks, months, years, maybe even decades. And God says, you know what? I have a kairos time, a specially appointed time when you are going to see me move. That's tough for us. We live in that tension of waiting for the kairos moment whilst we live in the chronos. But I've got to tell you this man waited for 38 years. He held on to hope. He held on to Jesus and he saw his breakthrough. Whatever you are waiting for, keep praying, keep waiting on God. Your kairos time is coming.